There's her life, and here's the woman. Yvonne really joins us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you're here in Canada. The Canadian Islamic Congress brought you here, a series of lectures. What do you talk about?
I've been talking about Islamophobia, women in Islam, feminism, Islamic issues, the wars.
For people who don't know your story, when they first hear the story, they go, what? Yeah. What happened? Captured by the Taliban, all of a sudden makes a promise to them on her way out that she'd read the Quran, and next thing you know, a convert.
That's right. That's it in a nutshell. But basically, I was trying to think of a way to get out of this situation, absolutely terrifying. And I promised them, you know, if you let me go, I will read the Quran. I would have promised to have learned Swahili backwards if they would just let me go.
Think how different your life would have been if that was your promise, though.
Yeah, so I started reading the Quran. It was an academic exercise more than anything else, because as a journalist covering the Middle East and Asia, it was shocking that I knew so little about a faith which was clearly, you know, a way of life for these people. And that academic exercise gradually turned into a spiritual journey, and, you know, nearly 2-3 years later, I converted to Islam.
Your first husband was Islamic?
The father of my daughter, he was a Sunni Muslim.
Yeah.
And he would try and talk to me about Islam, and I would just say, talk to the hand, I'm not interested. Thankfully, he was very tolerant, and we're still very good friends. Obviously, we've got, you know, our daughter in common. And I called him and I said, why did you never tell me about this great faith? And he said, you would never listen. And he is now quite amused and bemused that I've embraced Islam. Was it you read it and there was an awakening? Were you looking for this or something like this in your life before? Because you've heard of people who look at your situation and say, you just had Stockholm Syndrome, and this is just an after. George, I was so happy with my life. I worked hard, I drank hard, I played, I went clubbing.
Sounds perfect. What's the need here? The
last thing that I was looking for was a religion which would turn my life upside down. I was really happy as a party girl. So I wasn't looking for anything. And but things started to resonate, and I started to look into it more, especially with regards to the rights of women, and was completely floored by what I was reading. I know people have said, you know, oh, classic case of Stockholm Syndrome, but I've actually looked into that because I've been asked to present a program about Stockholm Syndrome, and you have to bond with your captors. Now, I was only there 10 days, and during those 10 days, I was the prisoner from hell. I
spit on them, right?
Yeah, spat at them, swore at them, threw things at them. In fact, every prejudice that the Taliban ever held about Western women was probably reinforced and made worse. You're like an episode of Absolutely Fabulous, sitting inside. Was that what it was? It was. It was a bit like Patsy, you know, Patsy meets Mullah Omar. It was a total clash of civilization. I heard you you kept a diary on the inside of a toothpaste box. Is that accurate? Yes. What did you write in there? Just little bullet points, because I really thought I was going to die, and I don't know I just wanted to leave something behind in case somebody would ever come across it. Yeah, I'm not a psychologist, I don't know, but I'm just, that's thinking you're going to die to that point, that's the kind of traumatic experience that could really kickstart a change in one's life. When you left that situation, did you sit there and say, I thought I was going to die, my life isn't good enough, I'm not doing what I should be doing, and that helped precipitate? No, I just thought I'm going to party more when I get out, you know, and well, enjoy life. Well, you failed at that, Yvonne. I must admit, yes, you did. Some of my friends are very sad that I'm no longer there drinking the champagne glasses. Well, look on the bright side, you picked an amazing time in the world to be a Muslim. Yes. Like, this is the moment when this conversation, it's been centuries since the conversation has been this heated between the East and the West. Absolutely, and you know, this is something that I often say, my timing could have been a bit